is this? Tabletop Island, huh? Let's see what this is all about.
Welcome to Tabletop Island. I'm Bernardo, your host, and today we're going to be talking about the highlight board games for the month of May. In the month of June, I'm releasing this video, so we are talking about the best games I played in the month of May. I choose 3, and that's a mixture of regular games and vintage, sometimes heavier on one side, sometimes heavier on the other, but I try to get a good mix. Oh man, I did get a bunch of games to the table, and I had a huge, wide variety of games to choose from, so this was a really hard month for me, but I was able to narrow it down to 3. Let's take a look at number 1. The first game on the list is going to be the vintage board game Mall Madness. Yes, this is the 80s version. There's a few different versions. In fact, there's even a newer version getting reprinted in 2020. If you didn't know, now you know. Now, the game itself is a game where you are trying to shop and get the best sale. So you have this board with pegs. Again, I don't know what it's going to have for the future. It may have some upgraded components, which may be awesome. I'll definitely still keep my eyes peeled because I do very much enjoy this game. Now, you have this amazing 3D looking mall, which has all of these classic stores and stuff like that. It feels like malls are becoming more and more extinct, but this game, not so much. Basically, you're constantly trying to get a sale, and depending on the length of the game that you're playing, depends on how many items you get, whether it's 6 or 10. And you're moving around the mall. The game tells you how far you can move. It tells you whether or not you kind of get to go to the ATM to get money, which can be a free move. You can decide to take people across the board just to kind of screw them over, so they end up being far from winning, and then at the end of the game you were trying to go to your parking lot to win. In fact, when I first played this game, I ended up playing it wrong because I didn't know you needed to go to the parking lot. I thought you just got all the items you needed. The game ended and that player wins. If we would have played it the first time correct, then that would have changed a lot, because again, there's so much back and forth. By the time they even get close to that, we could all be ready to be leaving the mall, and then the game dictates a whole bunch of different things, like take a friend to this store, take a friend to this store. It is such a fun game. Highly recommend it. The next game on the list is going to be one that I reviewed already, called Volcano Island. I'm a huge fan of this. This is by Spin Master Games. I'll have a link in the description to the review because I do love this game. In fact, it was probably one of my favorite games that I played last month, and it's climbing and climbing on my list of just favorite games of all time for regular board games, because it's not a vintage game and it has what I like about vintage games built into it. But again, you can take a look at the review to see the details. Basically, you have this really nice electronic 3D volcano, and you're these explorers in real time rolling the die to move around to get items and to get away from the tiki who can like screw you over, and you're basically trying to get these totems into the shrines. Once you get in each individual spot in the shrine, the tiki god is defeated and sealed away into his prison, and the game ends, which is super satisfying. But this game is really hard, and God forbid you play an even harder mode, which seems absolutely impossible unless you get really lucky, but it's a great game and I highly recommend it. Finally, we have a game that I was so stubborn to get for a very long time, and that is a vintage game, Omega Virus. Oh, I love this game, and much like a lot of my friends, it lived up to its expectations. In fact, you'll see my review. I'll have a link in the description where you can take a look at that. But it is an electronic board game where you're trying to defeat a virus. The virus is an electronic component in the game that constantly taunts you, and it's kind of a cooperative game where you're all working to defeat the virus, but you're trying to be the specific person that defeats it, because you'll be the winner if you do. And you can battle against people, and there's just so many fun points of interaction, which I highly enjoy. But that's honestly my 3 favorite games that I played in the month of May. What were your guys' games that you played? Whether it's that month or June, because that's when you're watching this video, what were your favorite games that you've played for the more recent month? Again, these are some of mine, but there was so many to choose from, and this was a really hard list to make, but these ones were the ones that I ended up playing the most. We played it a few times, and I very much enjoyed it. But that's honestly all I have for you guys today. If you are interested in notifications, there is a bell up there somewhere. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I do appreciate any feedback. I'm trying to make these videos more and more outrageous, and with your guys' help, I have been doing so. Monday, regular board game reviews. Wednesday, weekly updates / talks, and then on Fridays, my vintage board game reviews. That is all I have for you guys today. I'll see you guys next time.